for Friday night. From the draft room to the trade deadline, we built these rosters, now it's showtime. Clock can't stop us, ping don't lie. When the clock hits zero, somebody's gonna cry. I've been waiting all week for Friday night. AFA where legends ignite. Street snipers watching chat going wild. Yeah, I've been waiting all week for Friday night. No commercials, no mercy, just pure sim glory. Every play's a story, every win's a trophy. From the owner's box to the rookie in the chat, we own these moments, tell the world that I've been waiting all week for Friday night. I've been waiting all week for Friday night. AFA where legends ignite. Street snipers watching chat going wild. Yeah, I've been waiting all week for Friday night. I've been waiting all week for Friday night. AFA where legends ignite. Street snipers watching chat going wild. Yeah, I've been waiting all week for Friday night. I've been waiting all week for Friday night.
We welcome you in to another installment of the AFA Game of the Week in the American Football Association. We wait all week for this moment, and we've got a good matchup for you tonight as the New York Giants come into San Francisco to take on the 49ers. Hello, everyone. Cameron Duty is my name, and I am here with you on the call for 4 full quarters tonight. And we should have a good matchup. Two very tough teams here in the AFA at this point in the season. We are starting to get to the point to where some teams begin to separate themselves from the others. Meanwhile, you have certain teams that are fighting, and just now, a handful of weeks in, starting to find their stride. I think that is the story with both of these teams. As a matter of fact, the 49ers have came in here with a good record of consistency at times, and the New York Giants, although suffering a couple of tough losses, certainly continue to work and get better each and every week. So the question is, who will have the upper hand tonight? Well, the weather tonight looks fantastic. No precipitation, a perfectly clean and clear football field. So the elements won't be a factor. It's just going to be all about the teams, the players, and what they can do out here tonight. Kickoff is underway as it is a return past the 20-yard line, fielded at the 23 by Yaki Soba, and we will be introduced in the all-gold uniforms tonight, by the way, of the San Francisco 49ers. Quarterback number 8, Prince Wonder. As we go 1st and 10. Wonder is under center. Hands off to Dunn, who picks up about 6. And we will have 2nd and 4. You'll notice that the starting lineup is revolving at the bottom of your screen. So take a look for your favorite players there. As we continue to have players that in this league continues to grow and be added to these rosters. Pitch to the right side of Dunn. He shakes off about 4 defenders that I could tell before Sadscat gets to him, but not in time. It is a 1st and 10 for the 49ers. Wonder again under center. That is a handoff up the middle. A gain of 2. And you'll see Truman Dunn is going to be the workhorse that San Francisco loves to feed this football to. They will use him early and often in this formation that they like to run. Now you see motion. That is their number 1 target, Santiago Jaquez. As Wonder throws short, and it is 3rd and 8. Out there in coverage was William Simpson, the cornerback. He might have got a hand on it to swat that one down. And that brings up a 3rd and 8 situation now for the 49ers. Three receivers to the left, 2 to the right. And the snap from Wonder, who throws middle of the field and connects. A fantastic throw, and Matthew Rogers able to reel that one in. We take a look at the replay from the Sky Cam, and Wonder, with 3 New York defenders in the area, just able to thread the needle and fit that one into a very tight window. Good concentration by Matthew Rogers, as well as the ability to absorb the hit and hold on to the football. Truman Dunn now in motion. Empty set as Wonder throws short, about 6-yard gain, as he finds his target. As we take a look, a little cool tonight here in the Bay Area, as you can tell, but no chance of precipitation. 2nd and 4 coming up. As Wonder lines up, here's the snap again. The Dunn cuts it out left side, and again, that is the second time on this drive, really, that we have seen Dunn make a last-minute decision to kind of pop that run to the outside, and he does indeed get the first in doing so. .5:20 remaining in this opening quarter of the AFA Game of the Week. Wonder throwing, batted, and it's incomplete, as that was Cam Sadscat, who was able to come up with the deflection there, as he did a nice job reading the quarterback's eyes there, knew exactly where he wanted to go with that football. He was looking for a curl route underneath to try to pick up, 5 or 6 solid yards. We'd seen it a little bit earlier in the drive. And once more, but this time Sadscat was there. Wonder going to step up, throw the long ball, and he's got his man. As that is Jay Ballmer. And for another opportunity here, it seemed like New York was about to get the defensive stop that they needed, and Prince Wonder makes them pay. Over the head of the Joker, who was the middle linebacker that was in coverage. And again, that's just a tight window, as Wonder was able to kind of arch that one over the top. As it's 1st and 10. 2 receivers lined up on either side of the formation. Wonder going to throw. Has a man. Touchdown, Matthew Rogers, who caught that football on the curl route and then beat his man off the mark. After that, it was a foot race, and they turned upfield. And we'll get a chance to look at the replay. As you see a nice pocket here, Wonder steps up, and then right there, William Simpson came in to try to make the deflection as opposed to making, the wraparound tackle, and in doing so, a really good job of Matthew Rogers. The extra point is good. And so a great first drive for the San Francisco 49ers. And of course, now with a lengthy drive at that, as a matter of fact, 4:42 remaining here in this first quarter. We'll see how the Giants can respond. This one is fielded inside the 5 and returned down to the 26-yard line. A good return for the New York Giants as we get ready and say hello and welcome Eric Alexander and this Giants offense to the field. You'll see the starting lineup again at the bottom of your screen in just a moment. This young AFA having an opportunity to get to know a lot of these players, and we invite you to join the chat as we see a run on first down. Arnold Simpson, the halfback, running left side for 3. Join our Discord and just get to know each and every one of these players and a lot of these members, and get yourself acclimated as well and involved. It's never too late taking on players as this thing's continued. Alexander throwing over the middle, and it is broken up. 3rd and 7. As a quick third down setup here for the Giants, who in the weeks past have struggled to move the ball offensively, although they continue to work the kinks out. Trips to the right. Alexander going to throw. He has to throw short. The pass is caught. That is Emmett Ellis with the reception, but it will bring up a 4th and 2. So a nice defensive stop by the San Francisco 49ers as we see the punt here. San Francisco will have a chance to return this one, and then after that, we'll get a chance to say hello to somebody you all know and well here in the broadcast booth as San Francisco takes over at the 30-yard line. Folks, want to welcome into the broadcast booth today, of course, my buddy DJ Kilgannon. DJ, it is good for you to be with us today. Hope you're doing well. Obviously, you know, you had a chance to see San Francisco with that opening drive, and now they get started for their second series.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to be able to make it in, and man, what a time to hop in.
Big run immediately by Troon and Dunn, and so far that has been the case of this first quarter, this 49ers offense, as we've seen early in this season, continuing to move very, very consistently here.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing it league-wide, really. The teams that have the more high-powered offenses are tending to thrive with higher records than the others, right? San Francisco having a deadly pass attack and clearly one of the best running backs we're seeing in the AFA.
Prince Wonder now to throw just past midfield, and it is caught for 2 by Santiago Jaquez. So, you know, you mentioned that, DJ. This 49ers passing attack has been very dangerous. On the flip side, we've got New York, who continues to kind of find their footing on offense.
Yeah, you know, they're a team that, you know, we've seen in games where they're kind of try and mix things up, try and see what works for them, right? We've seen games against Oakland where they try and go pass heavy and it just really not work out. They, like you said, they're trying to find their footing, find a good balance for things.
And in the meanwhile, this defense, though, they've got a tough task on them, and that's a good stop on the run there on second down with good players, of course, on this Giant defense. But here's the first really big play of the night. Down by 7, you have to get off the field on these third down situations.
Yeah, absolutely. These are the plays that separate the good and great teams.
3rd and 7, trips to the right. Wonder throws, and it is knocked loose. It was intended for Santiago Jaquez, but he literally got the wind knocked out of him by Esteban Jaquez.
Yeah, some family drama, if you will, there. That one will leave a mark for sure. Not a bad idea there. You're trying to find your best receiver just in that small part of the zone, right? But maybe you go to the well one too many times this season, right? And they've watched their film, they did their homework, and they were expecting that one.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say as we watch the run back here, we have our first flag on the play, so we'll see what the ref was able to spot out there. And it's a face mask on the offense, so the Giants will accept It'll be 1st and 10 from the 27. So you spoke about that, DJ, the game film. For the Giants here, as they continue to get better on offense, do you suggest, two good halfbacks in the backfield? Do you start with them?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, like we said, one game that comes to mind is their most recent against Oakland, and oh man, that's a telltale sign, just like you were talking about, maybe using a little bit.
Oh, and you hate to see it, as Eric Alexander won the ball, had a little too much air on it, as that was Armani Lassiter who comes up with the big pick.
Yeah, I mean, he read that one all the way. I mean, this is a situation where you talk about a balanced attack, keeping the defenders of San Francisco honest, right? They're seeing the Giants really not run the ball at this point. They're like, okay, why play close to the line of scrimmage, right? And I mean, it's paying out in full.
Yeah, and again, interesting to the point that we were going to make. We felt like the improvement for the Giants on this ground game. That's where you feel like it would open the passing. I think of San Francisco with Truman Dunn, for example, as he runs for 6, as a model for that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we see how well they perform mixing the run in with him and then Jacquez and the other receivers for San Francisco, how well they get involved. I think you're absolutely right.
And Dunn again with the carry, finds a hole, good blocking out front, and is able to turn that into another 1st down carry for the 49ers.
Yeah, and I think they have to model their play after what they're seeing on the other side. You're seeing Dunn now over 6 yards per carry, and they're doing well passing the ball as well. Oh, that's one you won't see often from this Niners squad. To stop behind the line.
Yeah, what a play by Brody White. Shot the gap, and nobody would have an opportunity to even really gather their thoughts of where they wanted to go after they touched the football as quick as that play collapsed.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Wonder to throw, and there he's able to convert again, finding Santiago Jacquez for the 1st and 10. This time he was able to hold on to the football.
Yeah, I mean, kind of taking the contact in well that time. That time he did have a lot more time to be able to hold that one in. The last attempt, I mean, he was hit before the ball even hit his hands. So, I mean, certainly a much bigger space. He's going to catch those 9 times out of 10.
It looked to be a very soft coverage as well in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
On that one. So here we go. We got a handoff, left side, a 2nd and 8. And that gets us down to half a minute remaining here in this 1st quarter.
Yeah, and like you're saying, Cam, it's kind of similar to that last play. We saw one of the linebackers be brought to blitz in and try and help stop the run, while only one linebacker stayed in coverage on that last pass. It's kind of what let that be so open.
Again, with the carry to Dunn here, in this Giant defense, at least in the run game, starting to tighten up a little bit, sets up 3rd and 7. And that will be the final play of our 1st quarter here, with the 49ers leading the Giants by 7 on a cool, chilly night here in the Bay Area. You're watching the AFA on YouTube. We welcome you back in to start the 2nd quarter. Cameron Duty and DJ Kilgannon here. 49ers moving down the field nicely here, DJ, but they've got to get this 3rd down to keep this drive alive if they want hopes of a touchdown.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 touchdown lead would be huge for their momentum leading into the 2nd quarter.
Trips to the left. Here's the throw to Wonder. Tip bobbled and incomplete. Almost intercepted. Sad Scat was there, and that will force the field goal attempt.
Yeah, that should have been taken back the other way if you're Sad Scat in this Giants or defense, that would save you going down a possession here to San Francisco. That's if this kick is good. But now you keep the odds in their hands, and they miss. Oh, wow. What a break
they miss. As that one is wide right. So, in the end, a really good drive again by the 49ers. And you see right here, maybe a little too far out of the wheelhouse there for their field goal kicker. And that means the Giants get the ball back, just down by 7 now.
You never want to leave your fate in the hands of the other team like that, but I mean, thankfully there for New York it worked. They have a chance to even things out now.
Now, Alexander back to throw. There's a nice slant across the middle to Emmett Ellis, who he's tried to target a couple times in this game already. It's a pickup of 9.
Yeah, those are some plays there for New York that are going to open things up a little bit. Passes that, are only in the quarterback's hands for a second or two and then can find an open mark.
Try to pick up the short yardage here, and they do.
Oh!
A good run. Look at Arnold Simpson. Shot out of the gate. And he's got the 1st and 10, driving those legs.
Yeah, running with pure aggression. He breaks off the blocker, then one tackler, 2 tacklers, and then has to be brought down by a pair of 49ers. Man, what a tough run. And there we go. That's the running life we've been waiting to see from the Big Blue.
Alexander throwing middle of the field, has his man tip bobbled. Oh, and he couldn't come up with it.
Man.
That was Malik inside Neighbors, and, simply put, you got to catch those. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, they always say if you hit your hands or closer, you have to be able to pull them in. Regardless of how tight the defense is, that's one they'll look back on as something that could have changed momentum in a serious way.
There is not many times as we see on 3rd and 10 right there. Another ill-advised pass. There's not many times that those balls like the last 2 have been as wide open as they have been, and they've not been able to bring either one of them in.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen the defense for San Francisco play really tight, and we saw another throw to that shallow middle area of the field there that got lofted well over the head of the defenders in the area, but it resulted in being out of the hands of the receiver as well. You got to keep that close to your pass catcher.
Shotgun formation on 3rd down here for Alexander, who throws, and he had a man, and that's, of course, good coverage downfield going for his wide out there, and the contact jars it incomplete.
I'm not sure, Cameron, what the problem is, whether it be, not good play calling in, certain areas of the field, right? Or just getting stuck on your first read on the play, right? But it seems like just every time we're seeing this ball get thrown, apart from the last 2 that, didn't get caught, right? That most of these throws are coming out, a little later into the play, are just completely bottled up here by San Francisco. Not many late developing routes for New York's offense. A lot that it's either going to be open right away or not at all.
Right. And, I think the puzzling part of the end of that drive, DJ, was you had that incredible run by Simpson to get the first, and then they went away from him for 3 straight plays.
Yep.
Well, nevertheless, for the 49ers, they've got good field position starting at the 31-yard line, and Prince Wonder, once again, under center, going to throw middle of the field. It is reeled in. That looked like that one took a minute to try to snag, but they do get the 8 yards on 1st down.
Yeah, you saw the slant route up the middle, and the receiver kind of came to the pass as it was in the air. You could see his momentum carried him kind of back towards the line of scrimmage after he caught it, right? He was just being proactive on the route, trying to make sure he was at the ball before the defender.
And then on the carry,
there we go.
You see Truden Dunn breaking through the holes, and this is what this guy can do. Once he gets through that initial line of contact, if he's still upright, he can make some big things happen.
Yeah, I mean, he is just such a ball of pure energy, right? You see him getting skinny through blockers there and outrunning a linebacker. Man, he is the perfect amount of elusiveness, power. We saw the play earlier where he broke those 2 tackles, right? And just pure speed.
And for Dunn, you see already approaching 80 yards on this evening. We've still got 6 minutes to go here in the 1st half, as he will once again get the carry out to about the 32, another pickup of 5.
Yeah, another example of a play where, if you're New York, you want every defender to get to Truden Dunn while he's carrying the ball, because it's going to take more than one to bring him down.
So on 2nd and 5, with pressure coming up the middle, it's picked up nicely. Wonder throws, and it's tipped. Good play, stepping in front of the intended target there. And that's Billy Millie with the deflection.
Yeah, it was a shallow flood zone on his side of the field, and it looked like a little hitch route from the receiver there to just try and get a few extra yards and maybe make the run more possible on this third down, but he was ready for it.
Empty set with trips to the left, but he throws right, and he is able to connect once more. Matthew Rogers, you said it to me before, partner. First and second downs, that's great and all, but if you can convert on third downs, that's the only down you got to worry about.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see the area of the field just dwindling down with defenders. You have the linebackers shooting down in case a run comes, or maybe they're trying to pressure the quarterback, right? But Prince Wonder, he is not falling to the pressure whatsoever. He is living in it. Oh,
Dunn
my
stiff-arming
gosh.
him, man, and he almost broke that one free. He is finally wrapped up at the line of scrimmage, so it's 2nd and 10.
And see, it's like even whenever he does get tackled for no gain, he's still going to make it an impressive run, right? Completely stiff-arm someone,
Yeah.
ran a good 3 or 4 or 5 yards east to west before he was brought down.
He sure did, and now
Oh,
Wonder
man.
going to go down as the defense finally able to get home. There's a slappy clappy in on that one as Fred Robbins is there for the assist as well.
Yeah, Wonder able to duck that first and then just gets power slammed after a great spin move from the defensive lineman to get separation on that block. Wow, what a great way to corral the QB after he tries to get shifty in the pocket.
That brings up a 3rd and long, and again, if you are the Giants defense here, now's the time to step up. Just outside the 20. Here's the snap. Wonder steps up, gonna throw,
Wow.
and again, able to complete on 3rd down, finding his man right about the 5-yard line.
Yeah, a lot of man coverage seems to be really falling in, falling to New York in just bad spots, right? Every time they go man coverage, you find the defenders trailing the receivers off of the line. And that creates those plays like that, right? Where they're able to connect over the middle because the quarterback isn't able to be in front of the ball and the receiver like we saw in that last play.
Yeah, it was 3rd and long rather, and they're able to convert. So now 1st and goal, short throw. It is caught and tackled immediately by Esteban Jaquez as it's 2nd and goal.
Yeah, he's been all over the field tonight. He's been doing phenomenal against this pass game. Seems like he's everywhere. Clearly wanted to make an impression on his brother and be like, look, you're not the only one out here balling.
We've had Balmer and Rogers, a wide receiving dynamic duo today. Who gets it done on this drive?
Oh,
The hard carry to the goal line as you see their fullback Evan Lacey checking in. It's 3rd and goal.
that's to the half-inch mark, right? I mean, they could stick the ball over the goal and they'd be in, but strong front here from New York.
Dunn over the top, and he says, Trunan Dunn, D-O-N-E, with this drive. It's a touchdown for the Giants.
Man, and I mean, yeah, he got him all the way up there. He was the catalyst of the entire thing, right? The only time they really struggled in that drive was at the end of that set of downs where they stopped running it his way, right? And you finally get close to the goal line, and that's the area of the field where he is going to eat in the most. The fullback sets it up to inches and then lays a great block on the I form to be able to punch it in at the end.
Now, the extra point is up and good. So, San Francisco, in this AFA game of the week, takes the 14-zip lead early in this one. And not to sound in any way dramatic or try to over-embellish things here, DJ, but the fact is, if you are the Giants right here, it's time to get moving on this high-powered 49ers offense.
Yeah, I mean, they got lucky that, 2 of the previous drives they should have scored on and they didn't, because the score could be 3 possessions right now before the first half came to a close. Now it's only 2 touchdown game right now. The first half is, about 2 and some change out from closing. And New York, like you said, not to seem like the bearer of bad news, but it feels like this is the time where you need some points on the board or things are looking scary.
So they start from the 24-yard line as it's 1st and 10. We have a man in motion. That's wide receiver Tino Austin. As Alexander throws in the direction of Ellis again, it is contested and incomplete with good coverage by the 49ers.
Yeah, they had a defensive lineman back there in coverage as well. 93 was in the middle zone, and him and a defender completely shut that one down. Nice moves from the big man back there. You're seeing the area of the field right now where those passes are really getting bottled up. Any deep attempt that New York is taking to take the lid off of this defense is just being shut down. The corners and safety so good at playing against the deep ball.
One man in the backfield here. You wonder if they'll try to give to their halfback who waits in the wings. Instead, they do throw over the middle. It's a quick little pitch and catch. Again, looking towards Emmett Ellis. He does pick up 7. It's 3rd and 3.
Yeah, and that's Benjamin Simpson there playing very tight coverage to bring him down right after the catch. And, this is another situation New York forced into a 3rd down. But now if you run, you're just taking more time away from yourself.
3rd and 3, a quick throw, and another incompletion. As it's Storm Duck who was in on that one as well. And you see, once again, the Giants will have to punt it away. And they didn't use but about 20-some seconds on the clock there, DJ. So plenty of time left for San Francisco before the half.
Yeah, and they're the type of team that can easily drive down the field in that amount of time, right? We saw them have an 11-play drive that was double the amount of time they have in the last possession, and that was on a run-heavy offense, right? 2-minute drill, they can pass the ball successfully. We've seen them do it all night. If they do that first and foremost in this drive and extend the plays a little bit, make them a little bit deeper downfield rather than these shallow attempts they've been going for, they'll easily be able to punch it in.
Ball on the 39-yard line as this drive starts for the 49ers with 2:17 remaining in the half. Wonder gonna throw. It is complete and tackled on the spot by Billy Millie, and it's about a gain of 5.
You're seeing the splits there. Rodgers and Jacquez, 7 catches combined, just over 70 yards. Them and Balmer have really been all of the receiving productivity, all of them getting involved in a big way here for the 49ers.
As we have reached the 2-minute warning in this first half, Giants trailing the 49ers 14-0 here on the AFA Game of the Week. Wonder hands off to Dunn. Close to the first. They're going to say inches short. And that's going to make a big difference in this playbook here. With the way that Truman Dunn's running it, I don't know why he wouldn't just line it right up and shove it down their throats here on the run.
Yeah, they probably just want to keep the time in their back pocket, make sure they can score. But on 3rd and inches, I completely agree with you. You have timeouts to use.
You see motion there by the defense of New York trying to make a stop.
Oh, wow.
And they're going to get it. 4th and inches. Enough penetration to get in the backfield there, DJ.
Yeah, they did the right call. They tried to run it up the middle once again. Just does not work. Great stop there for the New York Giant defense. A little bit of spark at the end of the second quarter that they needed in a big way.
So they do not choose to take a timeout. Instead, they will let this clock run down before San Francisco will punt it away. Inside of 10 seconds on the play clock. And here's the punt. This one is angled and will be fielded at about the 12-yard line, taken up to the 20 by the return man, as that is Jermaine Hawk. Now, 50 seconds remaining in this first half, DJ.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard for New York. We saw how they haven't been able to throw the deep ball all night tonight. If they want to be able to score in this little amount of time, something on that front is going to have to change.
1st and 10 as Alexander throws from a quick drop back off the hands of the intended target, and the clock stops. It's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, again, we talked about how well the safeties and corners are at stopping the deep ball here in San Francisco. They're so fast and agile, right? Able to track the ball very well and make sure it stays in front of them at all times.
Now they go with the ground game here, and it's a good run once more by Arnold Simpson. I think you and I talked about this. He's the guy we want to see more of. 8-yard run on 2nd.
Yeah, I mean, he runs his heart out every time he touches the football, and yet they continue to keep him on the back burner and try and get Eric Alexander in this pass game working, and it just continues to fizzle out.
3rd and 2. They again throw short. It is complete. A first down. Clock running, though. 13 seconds remaining and moving here.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to take this one into the half. Seems like they almost surrender it up with the run and then the shallow pass. I mean, just not going for it all. Oh, they will go.
A quick snap at the end of this one, but they do have to throw short, so only a 2-yard gain by Ace Millie, and we have rich halftime as San Francisco leads the Giants 14-0 here in the Bay Area in this AFA Game of the Week. We welcome you into our AFA halftime report. Again, it's Cameron Duty here with you, my partner DJ Kilgannon. We take a look at the stats and a couple screenshots from the first half of this game. And DJ, what are your thoughts?
Man, I mean, I think this is another scenario, Cameron, where you just want to see New York run the ball a little bit more, right? I mean, they're trying to rely on a passing attack that, isn't to be relied on. You can see it in the time of possession there. Whenever they have the ball, they're not being able to, connect well-sustained drives. You'd see it there, Eric Alexander, under 30 passing yards in that half, right? And, you look to, like, why would you want a balanced attack, right? Why don't we stick with what we're doing? It's resulted in 0 points, not a whole lot of yards, and you're seeing San Francisco do it on the other side, and they're doing it dominantly. Truman Dunn almost had 100 yards already on this half with a touchdown, right? And we're seeing Prince Wonder as well have a very nice day, just about 130 yards, and he had a passing touchdown as well, 120. There you go.
And to give a call to this Giant defense, which I think certainly does need to get an attaboy in there, over 200 total yards for the 49ers, as we mentioned. Only 3 minutes that the New York Giants offense was on the field, and it's just a 14-point game.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, we saw missed opportunities. We saw them, have huge standstills, right, at some point. So, yeah, you're right. They at least deserve some credit being put in a bad spot.
that they do, and that will lead us into the start of the second half as we welcome you back here to Candlestick with the Giants getting the football to start this third quarter. We welcome each and every one of you who are watching here on this AFA Game of the Week. We want to remind you, if you like what you see, you want to be part of the action, maybe you want to do stats for this league, maybe you want to be a player. There's all kinds of ways to get involved. All you got to do is sign up to our AFA Discord, the American Football Association, submit a ticket, and our commissioner, who we also need to thank, Brady White, will be able to reach out to you and talk to you, of course, about whatever way it is you choose to aspire here in the AFA. We'd love to have you as part of our young team. First and 10 for the Giants. Alexander now under center as we see motion. As that is Ellis to the top of the screen. And they do go back to the air. Alexander to throw. It is tipped and almost intercepted. Good play by the 49ers. It's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, I mean, I respect them, continuing to try those deep balls, right? But you're seeing right there, they're 0 for 5 in attempts at it. They've had all five of their completions be in the shallow part of the field, and that deep ball continuing to just be snuffed out. But try and catch them on their front foot, maybe try and take advantage of just coming out of the break. I don't blame them at all, but like we harped on in the first half, let's get the backs involved a little more.
You see the play distribution there. Only 3 runs on the day. As it's 2nd and 10. Alexander steps up and floats that one over the head of Malik Sadneighbors. And a quick 3rd and 10 now coming up for the Giants.
That kind of reminds me of that pass we had over the middle on a previous drive, Cam, where it kind of sailed. And it was an open pass, but there was just no one there, and it was sailed way too far, if you can recall the few drives back. I mean, just, again, sailing way too far over anyone's head to get the catch.
Trips to the right for Alexander. Throws middle of the field. Flag on the play. Tipped and intercepted. We'll see if it stands. Right now, Storm Duck has the interception.
Oh, wow.
And you know what?
They get lucky.
Yeah. The 49ers called with the infraction, and the Giants catch a break here.
Yeah, and I think it was the same defender that was playing on that route, right? The refs must have seen something outside of that 5-yard range that impeded contact enough for him not to be able to get a hand on that.
Alexander again to throw. This time he completely disappeared in that pocket as they were collapsing around him. He just throws it away, and it'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, again, tight coverage in the middle of the field, and I mean, it's hard not to say don't beat a dead horse and keep bringing up the run game, but they need some balance here. This defense is just shutting down the pass so well.
They've kind of went one-dimensional on us as Alexander does throw again, tipped, 3rd and 10. So to your point even further, DJ, we're not even 40 seconds into this 3rd quarter, and we've already seen about 6 to 7 plays on this drive.
And all of which being passes. You see the stat there, 4 incompletions in a row. The only thing that saved them from already being on defense was the pass interference penalty.
3rd down. Alexander steps up, throws the long ball.
Oh,
and
there we go.
Man. Sometimes that's all it takes is one big play, and what an effort by Malik Sadneighbors.
Yeah, I mean, one of these times it was going to pull through in their favor and they'd be able to catch a one-on-one ball, and it finally happens. The defender unable to get up there to make an impact on the ball, and they finally get one to pop the top off of that 49er defense.
Yeah, and what a great individual effort by Malik Sadneighbors. Knew they needed that one desperately. They go back to the ground with Simpson, and he is stood up, hit right in the face mask as he gets back to the line for no gain.
Yeah, you're going to feel that one, right? And you're seeing on each one of these throws, right, Eric Alexander, right before he fires it away, is kind of stepping far up in the pocket, right, and hoping that the middle of his offensive line separates or holds their blocks.
Now they go back to the ground for a 2nd straight play. It is a gain of 4, and that will bring up a 3rd and 6 situation here for the Giants.
Yeah, there we go. Finally getting the run game involved now that they're shortening the field inside the 30, but you're in a passing down now, and the 49ers know.
As Alexander drops back, throws, has a man, and it's incomplete. Emmett Ellis looking for the flag there, but looked all clean to me. That brings out possibly the field goal unit here.
Yeah, it looked like some physical play right after the ball was there, but I mean, that's football. That's what's going to happen. That's legal. Right, you're openly allowed to hit the other team. That's what we're all here for.
43-yard attempt here. We'll see if their special teams unit can make some points, and they cannot. It is wide left. Yeah, shanked left, and a bad day gets a little bit worse for these Giants, unfortunately.
Yeah, that just hit a mom in row 7, far left, and she just threw her Coke everywhere, all over everybody. And, man, they're just not seeing some good special teams play today, Cameron.
No, that is 2 missed field goals on the day, 1 for either side. And for the mom that got hit in row 7, I think there's a complimentary koozie there with your name on it. At concession stand B on the east wing, 2nd and 11 coming up here for Truman Dunn and the 49ers.
Yeah, that was the Joker there playing tough in the middle of the field there. And that's exactly what they need to stop this run game, right, is to hit these runners behind the line and hope they can get another defender there to help wrangle them down.
2nd and 7, the throw to Wonder, and another wonderful throw over the shoulder to Jay Ballmer in stride, and it's a 1st and 10.
Yeah, the big tight end getting involved on the corner out there. You know, he got involved a lot early on in this one, and there was a nice spell there where they didn't take a shot his way. But they finally go back to him. They open that can of worms back up, and again, it's successful.
Close to midfield here for the 49ers as Wonder throws with that cannon arm, completes to Santiago Jaquez for another 1st down completion. And yeah, again, I think the phrase "firing on all cylinders" comes to mind.
Yeah, and that was Billy Millie there in coverage, able to tackle him just as the play was being made. And Cam, is it crazy for me to say that Santiago Jaquez, excuse me, is emerging as maybe the best receiver the AFA has to offer as this season continues?
I think it's very accurate, as a matter of fact, as we see a good run by Truman Dunn, but he definitely, his chemistry with Prince Wonder, one of the very first, I feel like, in the league to truly develop to that kind of superstar
Yeah.
platform. But I'm right there with you. These two can really just kind of read each other's mind.
Mm-hmm.
2nd and 4 coming here as Wonder throws,
Oh,
tipped and incomplete. He was looking for another guy who's really came along nicely here, and that's Matthew Rogers.
yeah, unable to pull that one in. It was a nice route. Again, going back to a corner route, and he had some space to pull it in, but he was close to the sideline, and there were some defenders breathing down his neck. That's one you may drop every once in a while, but you're expected to pull it in more often than not.
3rd and 4, they go back to the ground
Oh,
game, and
man.
Truman Dunn does a little disappearing act there, disappears into the pile, but comes out the other side with a fresh set of downs.
I feel like it wouldn't be too crazy to say they have the best running back and the best receiver in the league, man. Their rush game is just so good. It's like he separates him so well from every runner with his physicality. Oh, wow.
And then look at the fight after the
Yeah.
catch by Matthew Rogers with no quit in him. He gets past the sticks.
Yeah, I certainly didn't think that was going to be a first down when it was initially caught. But, I mean, he fought for everything he had to be able to fall forward past that yellow line.
Inside the red zone now for San Francisco as they look to make this a 3-score game. And with Dunn, it's like he gets that first contact, even if it's running into his own offensive lineman, and then he just turns on the Jets.
Yeah, exactly. It's like once they get past that line of scrimmage, it's like he's a track and field star, right? He's just such a cannonball shot from a cannon, right? If you hit him, it's hard to bring him down. You need a pack. You need a pack mentality when playing against this rush attack.
It looks like they're going to get him short of the first. Here's the Joker with that big 90s style neck roll there, the throwback style, which we love. Able to stand him up. Another 3rd and inches coming for San Fran.
Last time it was inches, they were short. Let's see if they run it again.
The fullback Lacey in motion, but they do run it straight up the gut. And it is Truman Dunn who turns it into a 1st and goal here.
Yeah, now you're inside the 5. Let's see if they go back to the big fullback like we saw them do on their previous red zone attempt that set it up into an inches scenario. Or maybe Evan Lacey can just punch it in.
And we see Dunn bobbing and weaving, moving around, changing lanes. Might be able to pick up 2 as he is tackled with 2:10 remaining in this 3rd quarter.
I mean, he looked like a Kia Soul going 90 miles an hour down I-40 there, just hopping from lane to lane, right? Just trying to find the one that was right for him.
Keep an eye on Matthew Rogers moving to the top of your screen here. Is it 2nd and goal? They try to stop him, and they ain't going to be any stopping Truman Dunn. That guy doesn't know the word. Touchdown, 49ers.
Yeah, no, it's like a kid that hasn't been told no enough, right? Truman Dunn just complete physical running. You see the tackle here at the end of the play. Him and a lineman just help lay out one of the defenders there for New York. And, man, just welcome into Hollywood Boulevard, they say, for Truman Dunn. And, man, 3-possession lead now. And they took off a lot of time from the clock on that drive, Cameron.
Yeah, indeed they did. And like you said, more days like this guy's going to find his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. A 3-score game here. 2 touchdowns by Truman Dunn. And a minute 52 remain here in the 3rd quarter of this AFA Game of the Week.
Now, I don't know about you, Cam, but I feel like if you're New York, this may be the drive. You know, there's always a drive in these type of games where you look at it and you're like, if they don't score,
yeah,
you know, it could be it could be scary, right?
Yeah, lights out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It feels like that. I mean, desperation time here in this game already for the Giants with a minute 47 remaining in this third quarter. And yeah, I mean, just exactly as you said, got to be able to find a way to get some points on the board here. The last drive they had, they had the missed field goal, so they weren't even able to come up with any points there.
Yep.
And
Yep.
a 1 yard run by Simpson here at 2nd and 9.
Yeah, but they are finally starting a drive with a run, right? It's a nice show of growth here for them as they continue to grow and, try and get better.
And that's what it's all about. Alexander throws short. It's a pickup of 5 yards, and that brings up 3rd and 5. And this goes back to the point we made early in this game as we talked about this Giants team. Maybe the team with the most growth, that really the most room to grow. And yeah, it's just a week-to-week grind, like as you said.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing about football as a whole, right? I mean, every week, whether you win or lose, there's something to learn. And I'd argue that whenever you lose a ball game, there's more to learn there than a win, right? It teaches you what you didn't do well, what you need to do better next time, and New York is going to come back stronger next week.
Oh, yeah, because at this moment this week, it continues to be an all 49er day. Another turnover, and, quite simply, DJ, this defense has played lights out. Lassiter, again, making a big play.
Yeah, the fans at the Bay are roaring right now. You can hear it in this stadium. The stadium's shaking. You saw the defender there. He was playing great coverage on his receiver that was going across the field, had a nice cross route from one side to the other. But he was also watching the eyes of the quarterback that whole time, saw his eyes shift behind him to the go route, adjusted, and just made a great play.
A minute remaining in this third quarter. Dunn again with the carry. And as we've said all day, just would not be denied. He picks up 9 before they finally kind of spear him into the ground at the end of this one. It's the only way they could get him to quit running.
Yeah, that's another situation, right? You need two tacklers there every time, right? And maybe pack up the box a little bit more. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Have more bodies in the box.
And there it is. You see it work to perfection as Brody White is able to get that penetration and pop out to the outside, chasing Dunn there, and it brings up a 3rd and inches.
Yeah, Brody, the brother of Brady, and it's just born in those guys to be leaders, being the inside Mike linebacker for this Giants squad. If anyone's going to be able to one-on-one tackle him on this defense, it's him.
Truman Dunn, of course, as we said, the yards after contact continuing to pile up well over 100 yards. That is going to bring up another fresh set of downs for the 49ers as we get a look at this replay.
Yeah, I mean, 1, 2, and then is brought down by 2 more. 4 people involved on that play, and it was, a gain of 8, 10 yards before he was dragged down.
And with that, we go to the fourth quarter with the 49ers leading 21-0. We welcome you back in here. Start of the fourth. The American Football Association game of the week as quite simply the 49er game of the week as they lead 21-0 and they look to make it a 4-score game if possible. Dunn with the carry picks up 5. And now I think you start to see the objective of starting to chew a whole lot of clock and just go home with the W.
Yeah, and that's easy to do whenever you have a rush attack that has been, warming up the entire ball game and has been working very well. You see the very heavy set offensive line here looking like another run.
And on top of that, a very gassed New York defense. The time of possession at halftime was 12 minutes and some change for San Francisco, 3 minutes for New York. And I know that has only increased. Look at Dunn again, running sideline here and gets the 1st and goal before being pushed out of bounds. Look at this, 310 yards allowed today.
Yeah, I mean, he just looks like a racehorse out of the gate. Right, I mean, you see the defenders there trying to chase him down. That's a safety. That's no linebacker. That's a safety running in tandem with him, and he is just dusting him. If there was no sideline there, that would have been a touchdown.
Closing in, like we said, 148 yards on 30 attempts. He's got to be one of these people you keep in mind for player of the week, not just player of the game. A great individual effort for Truman Dunn. Here's the snap, the handoff once more. Maybe a yard before the Joker's able to get in there and, maybe wipe a smile off everybody's face for a play.
It certainly would help and, help kill some excitement for these fans here and this team as a whole, right? That's something they need to keep in the back of their head that they're playing on the road. They had to travel all the way from coast to coast here for this game. They are exhausted.
Balmer in motion as Wonder throws back and it's intercepted.
Oh!
How about that? The play we didn't expect to see. That's William Simpson. You see the frustration in Prince Wonder. That keeps a very faint pulse here for these Giants.
Yeah, you saw William Simpson fall to that far zone at the back corner, right? And he saw that only one receiver was coming to the area, so he basically ran the route for him, right? And that one was lofted in the air, a ton of time to react to it, and he took it the other way. Wonder throws his helmet down in frustration. I think he can shake that one off a little bit, Cameron. One mistake in this game, way late in the ball game, won't hurt you.
Yeah, not bad at all. Here's Emmett Ellis with a reception. Again, another one of those slants that is one of the few things that's worked well for the Giants today. As you see, only 8 completions due to a very stingy San Francisco defense.
Yeah, only completing 36% of their passes, and they still haven't passed the century mark as far as passing yards go. You could see that number rise because we haven't seen them rush much anyway, but you are forced to pass now.
Alexander steps up, throws out of the backfield, finds his man, Arnold Simpson, who, again, we're big on this guy because he never quits playing, and he always seems to take a small moment and make something bigger out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the defender was right there just as quick as the ball was at the 35. He breaks through him no problem and fights past that guy and gains about 14 with a first down.
And like we said, a long way to go and a short time to get there, as the classic song goes. But the fact is, you got to start somewhere, one play at a time. 5:35 remaining, down 3 scores. Alexander here throwing to Sad Neighbors, complete to the 30. And yeah, you're starting to see the 49ers corners playing a little bit more loose, I feel like, on the edges.
Yeah, for sure. They see the light at the end of the tunnel, and they're like, who cares if they get a solid drive, right? I can tell you, your coach, that's someone for sure, and these fans, they want to see the score stick.
Yeah, now it's all about pitching the shutout. When you get to this point in the game and you've, not let anybody on base, if you will, you want to see it through, as it is 2nd and 8 here for the Giants. Trips to the right. Alexander back to Simpson. Gets a couple. It's 3rd and 7.
You're going to need maybe one of these deep slants we've seen them do all night.
Yeah, this time they go deep, one-on-one coverage again. And it is Wonder, the cornerback, who tips it away. It is 4th and 7 now for New York. And if I'm you, I'm keeping the offense out there.
Yeah, I feel like you got to, right? And this is just out of the range, probably where you're comfortable with your kicker. But, I mean, there's a faint shine of hope somewhere if you score a touchdown here. Not much at all, but I still respect them for giving it a shot.
Absolutely. Alexander stands in there as long as he can. He has to just throw short because everything is locked downfield. And this time, even Simpson can't turn that into something magical. And the 49ers get the ball.
Yeah, and he's frustrated with himself on the sideline, but he shouldn't be, right? He did what he could with the opportunities he was given in this ball game. And it was something we brought up very early on in the game, Cam, in the first half. Is they just didn't have any deep developing routes, right? It was either your routes are going to get open early on in the play, or they're going to get shut down and you're going to have to force something or go to something that won't, do the job. That's exactly what we saw right there.
So Wonder lines up under center. The objective, give the ball to Truman Dunn and chew the clock out and go home with the victory. And like we said, there is an amount of pride still with this 49ers defense that, again, they wanted to see it through and keep the Giants off of the scoreboard today. And, if things work out the way that San Francisco intends, the Giants may not see the football again today.
Mm-hmm.
And what a huge statement that would be for this defense. Done with the give,
man.
breaks free
Oh,
to the 40.
man.
Oh, you know what? He's just going to put a big red bow on it. To the end zone. It's a touchdown for Trunan Dunn once more. And the 49ers lead 27-0.
And they cry, stop, stop. He's already dead. Arnold Simpson watching from the sideline. Trunan Dunn getting fed the rock again. And that's all it took, is a handoff to that guy to completely seal any hope for New York. You see him bounce through some tacklers, and after that, once he saw that green in front of him and no blue, it was gone no matter what. No one was going to be catching him.
Yeah, watch the zebras get out of the way there, right? The refs just take off, and they clear the way, don't they, for Trunan Dunn, who takes it to the house. The guy feels like he is running on, 98% battery life remaining?
Yeah, I mean, 105, I was going to say, but as far as realism goes, I think you're right.
Yeah, that 2% he drained on that run right there. But,
yeah, no joke.
He is going up against, as we said, a defense that is just, for all lack of better words, I mean, we're looking at them all here, DJ. They've got oxygen on and just trying to catch a breather. They've been out there for so long today.
Yeah.
As we got a flag here, second penalty of the day. Face mask. And the kicking team will pay the price. 1st and 10 for the Giants on the 33-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, get some extra physicality coming in at the end of that one from the Niners, just kind of stamping this one on their coast-to-coast opponent here. And, I mean, it's going to be passes coming forth for New York.
As Alexander throws, that was almost intercepted again. Very lucky. I tell you, Storm Duck, this free safety who is rather new to this 49er team, he's fit in, like a hand in a glove.
Yeah, for sure. He's coming up in a big way in a few of these drives, right? We saw him, I believe it was him who had the interception on the pass interference that got called back, if I'm not mistaken. So he would have had one if not for the mistake from the defense. But yeah, he's
right.
Had a few big tackles as well. He's been showing up nicely.
3rd and 4 coming up here. Alexander is going to throw short. It's 4th and 1. And so, you expect him to go back to the line here, try to convert this thing. Alexander throwing, has to throw short. And it's a bad throw, as Sad Neighbors, emphasis on the sad part tonight, not able to reel that one in, and San Francisco gets the ball back.
Yeah, I mean, it just playing with too much, a little bit too much antsiness there at the end of that when you're forcing passes right off the mark. And now this, unless we see a huge breakaway run from Trunan Dunn again, this should be the end of the ball game.
Yeah, should be the drive to end all drives here tonight. As they actually hand off to Yaki Soba, who we typically see on those run backs, which not been many returns tonight for the 49ers. They've been the one doing all the kicking off today.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, you got to be able to put up some points if you want those kickoffs, right? But only San Francisco has got to have that fun.
And, us talking about this, of course, being real, folks, and certainly not beating down any players or any teams at all. That's not the point. With, an objective call in the football game, though, we want to be able to describe to you at home, what's good, what's not, and what can improve. And I think that with still a good ways to go here in this football season, second half of the season still to come up, more learning to be had by the Giants, and I think each and every game you'll start to see improvements in this team.
Yeah, absolutely, especially playing against other great squads and getting dealt a loss like this. Not only are you going to learn some things, it's gonna light a fire under you.
Oh yeah, there. As we reach the 2-minute warning here, folks, you're watching the AFA on YouTube and the game of the week. But sometimes a loss such as this, being shut out, that's really the spark that lights the fuse. It's a feeling you don't want to feel, ever again, really.
Mm-hmm.
As a good first down carry here, we'll start to see the timeouts called for, and like you predicted there, DJ, this one is just about over with. So why don't we go ahead and we know the outcome of this one already, predetermined here as of about the third quarter. What do you feel? Who as if I didn't know. Offensive game ball, we got to go with Troon and Dunn.
Yeah.
Let's do a defensive one today. Who have you got?
Looking at the roster sheet initially, right? There wasn't a whole lot to go off of here for the Niners as far as defense goes. It kind of just felt like New York not converting well. But, I will say I felt Benjamin Simpson had a big impact as well, and Storm Duck. So we'll give it to that pair of defenders in the secondary. I feel like anyone or the whole secondary really should be awarded with it. But someone in the secondary, I mean, they were locking things up here.
And what do they win today? What is what do the winners of these get to take home today? Usually, you like to call it a set of autographed air guitar strings by Cam and DJ.
Oh yeah, they're gonna get the first annual. The first annual AFA Gatorade brand bottles.
Ooh, fantastic!
Not sponsored. That's Gatorade with a Y somewhere in there. So not the official. Don't sue us.
GATORAYDE.
Yes.
Yeah, the last thing we need copyright infringement here on YouTube of all places. My goodness, wouldn't that be terrible?
It would. I think Brady'd kill us.
Brady wouldn't have us back, would he? The field goal is
dude, come on.
Right. Oh, jeez.
Get me out there kicking the ball. Golly.
I got to tell you, you had the mom in row 7 who got bonked this time. This time it's the cheerleader there, just trying to do her job and keep this crowd happy. Gonna go home with a broke nose like Marsha Brady.
Oh, man.
Marsha.
Marsha has a bent nose.
So if we have to find, so here's the negative, correct? We'll see Alexander throw deep as it is caught.
Oh, there we go.
Tipped off the hand, and Sad Neighbors comes up with it. But if there's one thing we can say, 49ers kicking game, we got to find one negative thing to say about them tonight, right?
Work on it. Get somebody from somewhere to help improve. You see the gate, that's our sponsored buckets right there getting kicked
Eric
over.
Gator, AYDE, all over the PLACE.
That's a fine. 2-point fine on your progression.
I was going 50 cents. That's about all I could scrum up here. Airfare back to the East Coast out here on the Bay Area is not cheap, folks.
No, it ain't.
As Alexander gonna throw deep, and it's tipped away, incomplete. 3rd and 10 coming up.
Yeah, I mean, they had that huge completion way downfield to end this one, and that's one thing you can say about the Giants. They're like the little Giants, right, in that movie. They weren't born with any quit.
That's such a good movie, too. Jeez.
It is a good one.
Flashbacks of the kid watching that. There's the throw.
Oh.
And it's off the mark again. Incomplete. 4th and 10. Well, you wonder if next week we're going to see a big, huge dose of Arnold Simpson and Jermaine Hawk again.
Yeah, you got to hope so, because it feels like every game we kind of harp on this point. The last game I remember it being a big issue was back against Oakland a few weeks back there.
Yeah.
Whenever they tried to go pass heavy and it just didn't work. This game reminds me a lot of that game, Cam.
Indeed it does, and that is the final straw for the Giants. Watch out for the Gatorade cooler. All righty, we're good. Ever since we mentioned that as their sponsor there, DJ, it's been in every shot.
Yeah, we'll have to tell the coaches that those are off limits. maybe like mount them into like get some bolts, some brackets, hold them down. And don't put them on the floor. Why are you putting them on the floor?
No,
You
come
can't put a
on.
cup on under that. Put it on a
I mean,
nice
those
little
are
table or
expensive.
something. We need the water boy out here.
Yeah,
Actually, if we do that, it wouldn't be any Gatorade, but you get the idea.
It'd be Gator Boy.
I think it'd be water.
One of those nights, folks. Thanks, I'm here.
They're gonna boo us out of here.
They're like, thank God we only got 15 seconds left with this bunch.
Yeah.
So, no, folks, this one has, of course, as they all have been, a pleasure. Even in the upside down victories or losses, whatever side you're on, still a fun night in the AFA. And congratulations to the 49ers who simply did a tremendous job. DJ, do you got any final thoughts, my friend?
Let's run the ball a little bit more, New York. Get a little bit balanced, right? San Francisco, keep doing what you're doing. Prince Wonder, great game as always. The receiving core, fantastic. Truman Dunn, great. Secondary, fantastic. Love all you guys out there, all the viewers. Thank you so much for watching as always.
Yes. Thanks, of course, to Brady White. Of course, everyone. As you see, the final time of possession, 22 minutes for San Francisco to the 9:46 for New York. Again, thanks to Brady White. Thanks to everybody who watches and participates in this great young league. Thank you, DJ brother. It's been a pleasure. And guess what?
Always
we can't wait. There we go. We can't wait to do it again, folks. Final score from San Fran. The 49ers 28, New York Giants 0. You've been watching the American Football Association on YouTube. We'll see you next time.